y'all heard, but Kamala Harris is $20 million in debt. She raised $1 billion in her campaign, yet she still finds herself with $20 million in debt. Donald Trump is offering to help pay down that debt because his campaign had money left over. That's what he is intending to do. Now, I do have a few other options that might be helpful for Kamala during this difficult time. Option 1, we can send her $750. Option 2, we can collect all the money possible to help and then send it to Ukraine. And my last option would just be, hear her out, see what she has to say about how this could have possibly happened, the mismanage of all this money, and then just tell her how we grew up in a middle-class family and we really liked the lawns of all of our neighbors. That might be helpful. And an honorable mention, could just possibly ask Oprah Winfrey or Taylor Swift to pay for it. What do you guys think she might prefer?
I just wanted to say real quick, if you're still hating on Trump, you're just not informed, you're not watching what's going on. Listen, look at this post right here. One of the latest tweets from Trump. I think probably the latest one. Trump is calling to or going to organize a situation where he's going to pay for Kamala Harris's debt or whatever she owes from the campaign that she just did. Apparently she owes a little bit of money. She got in over her head a little bit. They may have spent a little bit of money. I'm not trying to criticize or anything, but that's the real situation. So Donald Trump is calling to, I don't know, with his campaign, maybe with the media, he said, earn the media, figure out a way to get Kamala Harris's debt paid off, figure that out, because why? He said we need the word unity. He's been painted as the divisive president, but obviously he said, make America great again. We're doing it for everybody. And let's get it.
Breaking news. Trump trolls Harris over $20 million campaign debt. Offers unity, help. In a classic Trump move, President-elect Donald Trump poked fun at VP Kamala Harris for ending her campaign a whopping $20 million in debt, despite raising over $1 billion. Trump urged the GOP to do whatever we can to help them, dripping with sarcasm as he talked up unity, while highlighting the GOP's more frugal spending. Here's the kicker. Harris spent 6 figures building a set for her Call Her Daddy podcast appearance, which flopped compared to Trump's massive audience on Joe Rogan. She also held election eve concerts with stars like John Bon Jovi, Katy Perry, and Lady Gaga. And it seems those big names came with an even bigger price tag. Now staffers and vendors are sweating over whether they'll get paid. Republican strategist Brad Todd summed it up saying, "Money can't buy you love or a good candidate. Your turn. Should campaigns focus on star power? Or did Harris go overboard with her spending? Comment your take."
Now, y'all know I posted a video about Kamala being in debt of $20 million, mismanaging her campaign funds. Now, Donald Trump didn't do that. He's a businessman. He still had money left over. He has offered to pay her debt. What do you all think?
Kamala Harris's campaign has ended in financial turmoil, according to multiple media reports. Despite raising over $1 billion, the campaign has reportedly finished at least $20 million in the hole. According to a Politico reporter, 2 sources say Harris's campaign is now $20 million in debt after raising over $1 billion and still having $118 million in the bank as of October 16th. FEC filings confirmed the Harris campaign had a total of more than $1 billion raised, spending approximately $900 million of it by mid-October. But 3 weeks later, even that $100 million left over was dried up and then some. In contrast, Harris raised twice as much as Trump. FEC filings show Trump's campaign raised less than $400 million and still held a cash reserve of $36 million. Breitbart News also spoke with several sources inside the Harris campaign, who confirmed they were now $20 million in debt, largely pointing blame at campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon. A campaign staffer told Breitbart people didn't like working with her. Many people on the campaign felt like we lost because Kamala wasn't allowed to run her campaign. They were running Joe Biden's campaign instead of a Kamala campaign. Obnoxious and very much a gatekeeper and interfering with the vice president's people who were trying to do their job. Inside the campaign, staffers were reportedly unhappy with the handling of finances, with some still allegedly waiting on overdue payments for their work. Where did the $1 billion go? A large portion on advertising, nearly $700 million, according to the ad tracking company Ad Impact. A six-figure ad blitz in October was spent on flying banners over 4 NFL games in swing states, according to the New York Times. In November, in the final days leading up to the election, the campaign spent nearly $500,000 a day to have ads displayed on the Las Vegas Sphere in the swing state of Nevada, according to The Guardian. Campaign staffers who spoke to Breitbart also attribute the drain of dollars on high-profile concerts featuring singers like Katy Perry, Lizzo, and rapper Eminem. The staffers say that was one of Dillon's ideas. According to staffers Breitbart spoke with, faced with $20 million in debt, Harris's deputy campaign manager is reportedly shopping Kamala Harris's fundraising email list to anyone willing to pay in an effort to recoup the campaign's losses. Thanks.
In an attempt to unify the country, President-elect Donald Trump has offered to pay off the Kamala campaign's $20 million in debt. In a post to X, formerly Twitter, Trump said, "I am very surprised at the Democrats who fought a hard and valiant fight in the 2020 presidential election, raising a record amount of money, didn't have lots of money left over. Now they are being squeezed by vendors and others. Whatever we can do to help them during this difficult period, I would strongly recommend we, as a party and for the sake of desperately needed unity, do." We have a lot of money left over, and that our biggest asset in the campaign was earned media, and that doesn't cost very much. Make America great again. Personally, I think this is a very smart move, and I really hope the campaign actually follows through on this.
You're telling me the woman that said she's going to fix inflation is $20 million in debt. $20 million in debt, but she was going to fix inflation. One of the best parts of this is Trump is trolling her and saying he can help her out. This is a fact. You can see it all over the internet. I'm gonna cry. Even the Democratic National Committee official, he called the Harris campaign a $1 billion disaster. Kamala raised $1 billion, and now she's $20 million, but she's gonna fix the economy. So let's get this straight. She raised 3 times the amount that Trump raised. She's still lost and is in $20 million in debt. The left, the Democrats, control 80% of the legacy media, and she's still lost. The left, the Democrats, the liberals control 99% of Hollywood, and let's all say it together, they still lost. I mean, this is the gift that keeps on giving. And here's the best part. The left is still like, how did we lose? How did so many people vote for Trump? The fact that they are like, and part of me loves that they're blind. Honestly, I used to be super upset about it, but now, if they're so blind, they're not going to fix it. I'm just going to keep losing. Are you allowed to?
Somebody hand me a cigarette. I know.
Trump offers to pay off Kamala Harris's debts for the sake of unity. Listen, man. Trump, don't do that, because they not thinking the same, bro. Democrats, the last thing they want to do is unify with us, bro. They like literally in my comments, in my DMs, calling me out my name just because I'm a Trump supporter. Because just because I voted for Trump and I'm black, they crucifying me in my DMs, bro. So they clearly don't feel the same about unifying with us. So I don't know if I would help. That's just me. I don't know if I would help pay off debts for Kamala Harris, man. She would definitely not pay for your debts, Trump. So, all right, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Trump. You know what I'm saying? We do need unity in this world, but let's not start with paying off debts. I think she's in debt like $200 million too. So, we all know you got it, Trump. We know you got it. He said he got hella money left over in his campaign. He could help, but we ain't doing that, man. Trump, don't do that, man. Nasty work.
So, well, look, we spent $1 billion and elected Donald Trump. That's not a blame game. That's called accountability. And the people at the top of the campaign, the top of the party, have a lot of people pissed off at him because there were people who had suggestions. There were people who were saying, why are we doing this? Why this? It was like, hey, we've got it. We've got this special magical computer formulation. We've tested every ad. Shut up and sit down and go back to work. And so people said, okay, well, I guess you're right. And then we got clobbered, clocked, knocked down, beat up, drugged down. That's not blame game. That's accountability.
Accountability. I mean, and I know you're for $1 billion.
$1 billion.
And I believe they technically, blew a few $100 million of that in the recent weeks, Andrew Yang, and now ended up technically maybe in debt, a little bit.
And now ended up technically maybe in debt, a little bit.
Technically maybe in debt, a little bit.
And that, my friends, is called Bidenomics.
Kamala Harris campaign ended up going $20 million in debt, which is crazy because this woman promised to create an opportunity economy and fix the economy while she can't even pay off the people that were working on her campaign. Now, if you compare that to the Trump campaign, Kamala spent 5 times as much on her actual presidential run as Trump did because a lot of the coverage that Trump got was from people that did it for free, people that just supported him. And then Trump decided to do a little trolling by saying that he can pay off that $20 million because he has so much money left over from people that were doing it for free.
Let's hear what you got.
All right. Well, these
wrap it up. Exit that way. Thank you.
Kamala Harris's campaign ended up with millions of dollars in debt, reportedly, and a lot of questions and accusations. A Politico reporter wrote the Harris team had $118 million in the bank, but ended with at least $20 million in debt. There are reports this morning Harris staffers are starting to talk about the campaign blowing through $1 billion in a few months with lavish concerts and bills that still needed to be paid. Now, other political reporters say the campaign is selling its email list and soliciting more donations from supporters to cover the debt. Harris outspent Trump by nearly $1 billion on her failed election bid.
I don't give a fuck who likes this. I'm going to say it. When it comes to that $20 million debt that Trump offered to pay off for Kiki, sort of commendable, and he's probably thinking about the working class people with my chest. Let the heifer drown. I said what I said. I don't care if she got to shake her booty and hit the polls to pay it off. I don't give a fuck. Or if she got to call a loan shark, she got to hit up the cornbread mafia. The bitch can go bet on some horses. I don't care if she got to call Beyonce, lay down with Lizard, get down and dirty with a dib. If she's got to sell him bottles of baby oil, if she got to pimp that man out, I'm gonna give you a can of Campbell soup for that. I don't give a fuck. Or if she has to pawn her shoes, her Hermes, the 5011 jackets with the 10-inch shoulder pads. I don't give a hell. I don't care if she got a fart in a jar or sell her raggedy ass underoos on StankCouche.com. I don't fucking care. I don't care if she got to pick up pop cans. She got to resort to recycling. If babbling book report Betty got to write 3 books a week, would not pay off shit for her. In fact, you know what I would do? I would cut her cell service off, her electricity off, tell her she got to figure out how to apply for $750. Would immediately deny her ass, up in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, tell her to put her head down and reach her an application for fucking McDonald's. She can't get Meg, Cardi, Oprah, Tay-Tay, Beyonce, none of her bougie besties to pay it off. Then she could get fucked and stay fucked. And that's just how my petty, low-life ass feels about it. She loves being a middle-class citizen so much she can file bankruptcy and go back to fucking being one. I don't give a fuck. Period.
I'm not a mathematics major, but one thing I know, this math ain't mathin'. One thing I'm starting to realize is that the elite left, they do not care about their surrogates, their donors, or the people. They'll take your money, squander it, spend it on whatever they want, and call it a day. She raised $1 billion, or was donated $1 billion from major surrogates, and within 120 days of her campaign, negative $20 million. On the other hand, Donald Trump raised $450 million, and he has $100 million left over. Kamala Harris spent her money and squandered it on things like $50 million in payroll compared to $10 million in Trump's campaign for the payroll. She spent $12 million on consulting. She spent $20 million on concerts. She didn't even want to go to certain places to do interviews, so she would recreate the set for $100,000 like the Call Your Daddy podcast. There's a lot of things going on. There's no way in the world that we thought that she was going to be able to take this country out of the economic doom that we're in. And lastly, Trump said he wants to help her campaign. I don't think he should. Call Beyonce, call